Hi everybody, welcome to Evening TV, and I'm Evening Ransom. Being able to do the job of being a parent is by definition not compatible with narcissism. I would venture to guess just about all of us who end up here, who are in this, on these, looking at these channels on YouTube, we all had bad examples that we watched growing up as children, and that in our minds we thought, oh, that's love, that's what love is, that's how love's supposed to work. And then we went off into our adult lives with this, basically not really discussed, with subconscious sort of assumption, taking it off into our adult lives. And not until we end up with pretty big problems, pretty severe problems, do we even stop to think about what we believed, and it takes a lot of, for most of us, it takes a lot of unraveling, a lot of unpacking to get down to what in the hell even happened. We assume that physical abuse is so much worse than emotional abuse, that that is just the epitome. The truth is that the healing and the recovery from physical abuse and violence and horrific stories that you've heard, the outcome for people who have experienced those things is actually far better than the outcome in the healing process and the recovery process that it takes to deal with the emotional abuse, and especially the emotional abuse when it happens at the hands of one's own mother. But there's something about the mother bond, whether you're male or female, the mother bond as a small child, essential to our ability to be a functional and healthy and whole person. And so if we were born to a mother who herself was not grounded in reality, had an inflated sense of self-importance mixed with also probably self-loathing and everything all confused together, and if we were born, first of all, to any parents who had children for any reason other than, I just want to unconditionally love and care for and raise a child, I want to have the experience of devoting myself, putting someone else's needs but ahead of my own, and taking care of someone else and raising a person into an adulthood. I want that experience for my life. I want to be a mother, I have love to give, and I want to create a family. Any other reason other than that is a wrong reason to have children. And people do it all the time. They have children because, it was an accident. They have children because everybody else is doing it. They have children because I want to carry on the legacy. I don't want to be forgotten when I die. I need someone to take care of me when I'm old. People will think that there's something wrong with me if I don't. I want to have someone who can live out the things that I didn't get to do in my own life. I want someone who can carry on the family name. I want, who knows what, I want a little mini me. Who knows what reason, any reason, other than wanting to put someone else first and take care of someone else and be a parent to a child and be, raise a family and have a family, and that family is really, really important to you, and belonging to a family and all that, if that's not your priority, do not have children. Because the very worst thing in the world that a narcissist can do is have children. Children of narcissistic parents are in worse shape than they would be if they had no parents at all. I definitely had that experience when my husband left me. My husband, who was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder in 2003, he left me that same year. Actually, he left me in 2002. But we were still involved in counseling. I thought we were there to save our marriage. But the truth was that we were there because he was trying to get evidence to use against me in court. And he had set this person up and given him all the lowdown on me. And he was hoping to get some kind of report that said that I was, something wrong with me. Back saying that I was depressed, that I didn't have the support that I needed. And I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and depression and all of that. But he was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. Of course, I didn't know what it meant at the time. I did nothing with it. I ignored the warnings to get out of the marriage and save myself. I ignored all that. And I got to watch, by ignoring it, what I got to see was how it works and what they're capable of and what they will do and how it will stop at nothing. And so if I had to look for a silver lining, I guess that the silver lining would be that I got an education. I don't have to wonder how far it would have gone, or what my family or what my ex-husband, what they're capable of. I don't have to wonder because I got to see it. I got to see exactly how far they would go with and what they would do to me, and how much I meant to them, and all of that stuff. And so there's no question about it at all. And those were really, really painful lessons. And the other thing that I can say that it brings me is, it brings me the ability to stand here in front of all of you. Just about anybody could look at me and what I've been through, and the lengths that it went in my life, ultimately ending up with myself almost dying. I had a heart attack at the age of 33. As a young woman, healthy, with nothing wrong with me and no reasons at all to be having a heart attack. It was a spontaneous coronary artery dissection, so my heart basically just broke out of the blue. And I almost died. I had a near-death experience there and the whole thing. I struggled my way back from that, to be here for my children. I saw in the near-death experience that we were not, that I was the only one that unconditionally loved my children, and that no one basically unconditionally loved me, and that if I was to die, my children would be worse off than if they were orphans, even though they would be surrounded by family. I came back into my body. I struggled my way back into my body, and immediately went into denying the whole thing. Repressed the memories of it, and it was just too much. I just could not believe that would be true, and so I ignored it. And it was proven to me that it was true. That was the turning point in my life, and that's when all the unraveling of all this story that had been built up, this house of cards that had been built up all my life, now is when it starts tumbling down. And it does not stop tumbling down before my son, one of my children, died. And so it's the point of it is that there is no abuse more severe, more serious than emotional abuse, and it is fatal. It can be fatal. It almost killed me, and it did kill my son.